one of you in deep appreciation and gratitude for the co-creation of these interactions, which allows for certain changes to occur in the vibrational frequency of the makeup of both of our respective realities. This transmission, we would like to focus on an idea we have called, in your language, sacred circuitry. You all have diagrams of some, just a few, of the sacred circuits. What this is a reference to is a particular tool, a particular technique, a particular reflective idea that is unique in a very specific way. Most times what we have shared with you as tools and techniques and permission slips have come from our own society's understandings, our own society's applications of these principles that we discuss with you. While we have ourselves adopted and adapted this idea within our society, this particular technique comes as a gift, as a sharing, handed down from other societies in creation. We will only go so far back as to say that while it did not originate with them, what is relevant to this particular interaction is that this particular technique was also adopted and adapted by the civilization, the physical civilization in the star system of Sirius, and handed down to the hybrid civilization that we have already spoken of, that we call the first ones, the Shalanaya or the Yael, who have handed it down to our civilization, the Sasani people, and now we hand it down to you. So this is the first time that we are sharing a technique, a tool, a permission slip, a gift, handed down as a gift from other civilizations in a specific succession. And you are next in line to receive this gift, this sharing. So we bequeath this now to you, to make it your own, to adopt it and adapt it to your own imaginings, your own civilization. So while we will give you some brief instruction as to how perhaps to utilize this particular permission slip, please understand that in time you may also rely upon your own imagination, the conduit between your physical mind and higher mind, your spirit guides, your synchronicities, your own understandings of the choices that you have made to experience this reality. You may rely on these things to adapt this idea, this tool, in whatever way, shape, or form suits you best, individually and collectively. But the basic idea is that it will tap into, like many permission slips, the collective consciousness and unconsciousness of your civilization, the collective world spirit of your civilization, and that is why, even though you may adapt it in a very personal manner, it will have some effect on most of you, even though it is a permission slip, and you are giving yourself permission by simply using this as a reflection to become more of yourselves. It will key into those things that are extremely common with most of you, because it taps right into the idea of the wiring of the brain, the neurological wiring of your brains. As we have said before, there are 3 levels to the idea of the reception of information in the idea of physical reality. There is the higher mind, which is the conceiver. There is the physical brain, which is the receiver, the antenna, and there is the physical mind, which is the perceiver of the experience. This permission slip, this gift, this sharing handed down, is specifically designed to assist you in rewiring and adapting your receiver, your antenna, your brain, your physical brain, in such a manner as to allow for many different things, one of which is greater communication between your physical mind and higher mind, allowing your brain to become not just superconductive, but hyperconductive, allowing information to go smoothly, effortlessly, in both directions, from physical to higher, from higher to physical. Thus acting also more as a network, allowing you to associate more readily, tap into and access more information more readily, gain perspectives that allow for broader understanding of various levels of your reality experience, that allow you to tap into broader capability at perceiving other levels of reality, other dimensions of experience. Of course, as we have also said, each and every thought you have changes the wiring of your brain, and based specifically on what we spoke of last night of your time in terms of shifting through parallel realities. The idea being that you are truly a different person, a new person, literally, every moment. The idea of learning how to consciously rewire your brains in specific ways will allow you more efficacy in becoming the person that you wish to become, that you prefer to become, who you prefer to be. And thus then, along with that, the attendant parallel reality that is reflective of that state. Now, as you gaze at the first 15 of the sacred circuits, and there are many, many more, but we will start here. We will keep it simple. The idea, first and foremost, one way that you can begin to utilize these would be to take some time, on your own time, to turn each and every one of these into its own, as you call them, flashcard, individually. 15 flashcards, each one with one symbol and one word upon it. As you thus create these flashcards, 1 to 15, with each attendant circuit and attendant word, the idea would be to sit in a quiet and meditative way, a relaxed and peaceful way, in an environment that you find relaxing and peaceful, with music if you wish, with colors if you wish, however you wish it to be, that to you represents a peaceful state, without interruption. The idea being that you will take and gaze at each one of these in succession, in order, 1 minute a card for 15 minutes. Do this 3 days in a row. 1 card at a time, 1 minute per card, in order, 1 through 15 for 15 minutes. And as you simply gaze and ponder and allow your mind to drift, and just absorb the idea of the shape, just absorb the idea of the attendant concept, without thinking, without analyzing, just let it in, just gaze at it, just let your eyes be the true windows to your soul, your spirit, your mind, and everything else. Bless you. Allow yourselves the opportunity to just sit with these shapes and know that as you do so, what they are doing is that they are specifically designed to allow the neurological circuitry in your brain to rewire itself to be representative of each and every one of these symbolic shapes, so that it may function in accord with the concept that is attendant to this shape. And overall, over the course of these first 15, allow you to more holistically function in a hyperconnective, hyperconductive, associative, accessing way to knowledge, information about yourself, about the cosmos, about all that is, in whatever way, shape, or form is appropriate for you as an individual aspect of creation. After you have done it 3 days in a row, in order, 1 through 15, each time, thereafter, you may do it in any order you so desire, any order you are attracted to, whatever it is, in that sense, you are wishing to focus on, you may do it in that way. And you do not necessarily have to even do them all. You may find yourself sometimes gravitating to simply 1, 2, or 3, or more in any given day. The idea, however, is that how many ever you decide on any given single day, and you do not need to do this more than once a day, you can do it twice, you can do it 3 times. I would not suggest you do it more. The idea is that you need to allow your brain time to adapt, time to incorporate, time to absorb, time to crystallize these effects, these adaptations, these circuits. So, start slow, start soft, let it take whatever time it is natural for it to take. And if you only do less than 15 on any given day, after you do the first 3 days in the order in which they come, then allow yourself again at any given sitting, even if you're only using 1, to not do it for more than 15 minutes. As we have spoken of before, in the session that we entitled 15 Minutes and Counting, and as you have observed and will observe with the meditation that is attendant to the holotope experience, 15 minutes is the time frame in your reality that best suits the absorption of information and the alteration and the rewiring of the brain for a specific task. Longer than that is really not efficient. Longer than that can actually, in some senses, before it is, in that sense, absorbed appropriately and adapted appropriately, before it is crystallized, can actually allow you to lose the effect a little bit. So keep it simple, keep it short, always keep it to 15 minutes. You do not need more than that, guaranteed. So, take a moment now. We don't have to spend the 15 minutes doing it, but just take a moment now, starting on the first page, to simply take a few seconds to gaze at each one in order, 1 through 15. This is just by way now of introducing your brain to the concept. You are making now a formal introduction to allow your brain to know what's coming, because the physical mind loves to know what's coming. So we will give it its due at the moment and give it a little bit of preparation. Look at number 1. Just number 1. Just take a moment and say hello to each symbol and form an associative, loving, peaceful, exciting, creative, playful energy with each symbol. Look at number 2. Do the same. Just 1 or 2 breaths with each symbol is all that is necessary, maybe 3 breaths. Take a moment, look at number 3. Let the symbol fill your gaze, fill your mind, feel it. In a sense, being recognized and acknowledged by your physical mind, by your brain. If you even wish to feel a sensation or create a sensation of the circuitry in your brain actually rewiring itself as you do this, that's fine, for this is the beginning of the permission slip, even in this simple form. Look at number 4. Allow yourself to familiarize the shape in your mind. Look at number 5. Take a breath. Take 2. Flip over to number 6. And understand, of course, again, that it is no accident. These are broken down into 5s. 5 being the number of humanity. This is one of the adaptations specifically for your civilization. So all the times we will introduce these circuits and more of them later on to you, they will always be given to you in clusters of 5. So look at number 6. Look at number 7. Allow yourself to drift to number 8. Ponder and explore the shapes of number 9 and number 10 at whatever rate you are comfortable with. You do not have to follow exactly the pace at which we are moving. Just take a moment to sit with it. And then go ahead and flip, if you wish, to 11. Allow yourselves to feel the expansiveness that comes with that symbol. Allow yourself to flip to number 12 in your mind. And feel the activity that comes with that. Allow yourself to ponder number 13, the great transformer. That which is the crucible that allows for all change in a smooth and effortless way. Then ponder, if you will, number 14, the great, in that sense, connector. To reinforce and recrystallize and establish your connection to all things. And then, last but certainly not least, the great manifestation. That which allows you to see all things coming into play, all things finding their appropriate place and time and timing. All the things you're already connected to suddenly being capable of appearing to you in your sight, because you have expanded your frequency and thus are capable of seeing what was heretofore invisible to you. For that is all manifestation is the making visible, which is already here, that which is invisible before. So thus then now you have this tool, this technique, this gift, this sharing, this permission slip. Do not worry about how you recreate these symbols on your flashcards. You may do them by hand. It is one of the reasons we instructed the channel, when we downloaded this information to him, to leave them as hand-drawn symbols. You do not need to make them any more precise. You can if you wish to. You may doll them up, decorate them up, in any way, shape, or form you so desire, as long as the basic symbol is maintained intact. You may make them more precise, or you may simply hand draw them as you see here. They will always work. It does not matter. And in some senses, in particular, in actual fact, if you actually hand draw them to the best of your ability, it will actually be more strongly connected to your circuitry, because you did it with your circuitry, more directly, more, shall we say, naturally. Again, it is up to you. If you feel a stronger kinship with them by rendering them via some form of computer art or what have you, that is up to you. But just allow yourself to sense whether the symbols thus then feel a little bit removed, or whether they still feel a part of you, an extension of you, and capable of being related to by you in a natural way. That is what is most important. That you truly form a relationship with each and every one of these symbols. Each and every one is like a little autonomous being with its own consciousness, its own vibration, its own reality, its own awareness, and it is willing to form a relationship with you and express itself as an imprint, an encodation in your brain, in your neurological circuitry, to aid and assist you in being a smooth receiver, an expanded antenna, and to help facilitate, through the conduit of imagination and inspiration, a greater dialogue, a clearer dialogue, an active dialogue, and an active partnership between your physical mind and higher mind using the facilitator of your brain, your receiver, your antenna. One moment, we have a guest who wishes to say a few words. Greetings. Greetings. I am the primary facilitator for the Sasani homeworld. What you would recognize in your future as the replacement for what you now call government, which we do not have. We have only those that assist in the facilitation of the synchronicity that exists within the telepathic bond between all of our race. We are speaking with you this day in this way because of this gift that our world passes down to you, and in this way allows you to become more connected with us as you become more connected with yourselves. We extend to you, all of you, our deep appreciation at being willing to become part of our family, our extended family in this way. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our family. By this gift, you will find yourselves from time to time, quite literally. By this gift, you will find yourselves from place to place, quite literally. With this gift, you will find space and time more flexible, more malleable. You will find shifts in your perceptions and your perspectives that will line up more truly with your fundamental selves, your core being, the aspects of your creatorhood, and more flow with your synchronicity. In particular, pay attention to the glyph, the circuit that is the circuit called flow. For when you arrive in pondering the circuit called flow, you will be specifically accelerating the energy of all that flows to you and all that flows from you. And as you align with this flow, you will more readily receive, and you will more readily give that vibration that is translated in your reality as unconditional love. And as you are more willing to stand in the path, in the tunnel, in the conduit, in the pipeline of that flow, you will find yourselves becoming expanded in very specific ways that may allow you to catch glimpses of other realities that are concurrent with your own, that have relevance and meaning synchronistically for you, and may illuminate more readily, and may illuminate more clearly your particular choices for this life, and may assist you in remembering, recalling, reawakening the choices that you made for this physical reality, so as to more clearly illuminate the path you have chosen to be, and more clearly grant you understanding, true, fundamental understanding of why it is obvious to act upon your joy every moment that you have been granted existence and life. And allow your experience to be undifferentiated from what and who you are. For you are the experience you are having itself. You are the experience all that is having of itself. Have a grand experience with this gift. Once again, we welcome you to our family. We welcome you to our society, as you have welcomed us to yours. We salute you. We give you back your tutor. This is a time when you have arrived at a place where this being we call the primary facilitator thus then gives his 3 cents and thus then acts as a demarcation that is another marker, another milestone on the path of contact, and allows you to know that you have expanded to the point to use this greeting from him as a barometer, to know that you have arrived at a point where you are now taking a step to another level, expanding to another level, to another accelerative level that will allow for more contact to begin to occur in a variety of ways. So do not be surprised, or if you wish to be surprised, go right ahead, by the fact that over the course of the remainder of what you call this orbit, this year, and into the beginning of your year you call 2011, that there may be far more reported activity of what you call spacecraft in your skies, and far more activity within you and yourselves and your memory and remembering that many of you, and in some ways all of you, have already had certain kinds of contact that you may simply not be remembering yet. But by this greeting as a demarcation, you will find that you may accelerate in your dreams or even in your physical waking state to begin to remember encounters you have already had on other levels and even on your level. And it is the pace at which you remember that contact has already occurred in certain ways that we use as a barometer to gauge. The rate at which you remember the contacts that have already occurred is the barometer we use to gauge when your society is ready for more. For remember, after your year of 2012, the quarantine will be off. And the idea of contact and the rate at which it occurs will no longer be based on the idea of our hands-off policy. It will totally be based on the rate at which you yourselves deem you are ready for open contact by your actions, by the things you do in your world, by the changes you create within yourself and the responses that occur within yourself to whatever is going on your planet. From that point forward, and what you call that particular demarcation point, the end of the old cycle, the beginning of the new, on your December 21st, 2012, will be the final date wherein we are prevented by our own reckonings from interacting with you. It will solely be in your hands as to determine when your world is willing to open up more and more for further relationship with all of us and others. So, we give you this tool, this day, as a particular special present to mark this birth and new birth and rebirth of yourselves as new people in a new reality with a different history and a completely different future that you are creating from a completely different present. So congratulations. Thank you for applauding yourselves. At this timing, we may begin with explorations, questions, and discussions that are pertinent and germane to the ideas we have expounded upon herein.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Happy Father's Day.
We thank you.
I really feel...
Thank you, children.
I really feel your fatherly, paternal energy around me so often, and I wanted to share with you the joy I'm feeling in my life. I know we've been together since the beginning, and this is a real roller coaster, and I'm so delighted with this gift that you've given us today.
You are so lighted.
Thank you.
Not delighted, lighted.
I am extremely lighted, and thank you for pointing that out. And I'm just living my excitement, and Create Now is exploding and going global, and just amazing things happening.
Thank you.
And at the same time, I'm still sweating out paying my rent and dealing with that.
That is all right. Again, the understanding as we have expressed it is that as you act upon your highest joy, you are thus by your highest vibration always first and foremost given the opportunity to explore any beliefs that you may be holding on to that are out of alignment with your truth. Thus then, this is a sparkling opportunity to understand how to truly respond differently to what is going on apparently outside of you, not that it really is outside of you, but to respond differently to it even if it looks the same as it did before, which is the mark of true change, not that the outside changes.
Exactly. I feel like instead of having the fear of not being supported, I keep hearing what you say about what you have, what you need when you need it. And
Yes.
I feel extremely abundant right now and excited. And I feel like I'm at the top of the roller coaster and it's at the highest peak ever.
Yes.
And it's like jumping off a cliff.
Yes.
But I feel secure and supported, and that's
All
the
right.
difference.
Thank you
And-
for allowing yourself to truly change and respond differently to the exterior illusion.
Well, I have two questions about this handout that you gave us.
Oh, all right.
I feel that I'm going to definitely do this 3-day thing, but when I start to focus on the end, I feel like I'm at the point of manifestation.
Yes.
So can I focus on that card more than the others, or do you
For
recommend?
the first 3 days, we would suggest you do it in the way we have suggested. Thereafter, it is your game.
Okay, so I could focus on the higher
There
one.
is a purpose to doing it the way that we have suggested for the first 3 days.
I understand. The other question I had is that I noticed that the glyphs at the end include the triangle for the last two.
Yes.
And that's also the shape of the Esasani craft and other craft like the Phoenix Lights.
Yes, it is.
So is that a synchronicity? Thank you. Thank you again, Bashar, for everything.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you for being here. My son is 25, and over the past year, he has had two psychotic, or what they call bipolar or schizo.
A particular handout can actually be of assistance to those kinds of conditions. If the being is capable and willing of performing the exercise as we have outlined it, you may actually find they are capable of rewiring their brains and rearranging the chemical constituents of their bodies in such a manner and to such an effect that it may bring balance back to that individual. It may take some degree of time, perhaps what you would call anywhere from 30 to 90 of your days, but it can be done if the individual is consistent in the utilization every day, 15 minutes every day of this particular tool. This is a profoundly deep and powerful and effective tool for anything that has to do with the wiring of the neurological circuits of the brain.
Thank you, Bashar. Is this the best way for me to help him also?
It is one way.
Okay.
We will leave it up to your imagination to create a dialogue between your higher mind and your physical mind to determine other ways that may also work. Also, you can find that for this kind of condition that you call bipolar, and also for the condition physiologically that you call epilepsy, the idea of allowing the person to be in a meditative state while having them follow your finger in the infinity symbol can actually also be, for 15 minutes, something that will cause great reparation and healing. Allowing their eyes to follow this allows you to utilize and balance both hemispheres of the brain and allow them to come together through the center point, the corpus callosum, which in that sense is the prime receiver and the prime organizer of all information that is then dispensed and dispersed through and throughout the antenna and receiver of the brain. Do you follow?
Yes.
And as you do this, and as you form a stronger link between physical and higher mind, you will then be creating more capability of receiving inspirations to also aid and assist yourself and your child.
Thank you so much, Bashar.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
You were talking about remembering contact and opening to more contact.
Yes.
Yesterday morning, I had a dream. I was sitting at a coffee shop. Been there a long time. Felt hands on my thing. I thought it was on my shoulders. I thought it was the waitress telling me to move along. Looked around. Nothing was there.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden, they grabbed me and started lifting me.
Yes.
I didn't know who it was or what they wanted, but is it a memory or is it like a test to see if I'm more ready? Or
it is more the idea of spirit guide assisting you in realizing that you have the propensity and capacity to more solidly and concretely feel the upliftment of energy. And that can translate in that way as a feeling that you are rising. Do you understand?
Yes, wow.
It is to some degree connected with some of your contacts, but that particular facilitation was handled by a spirit guide.
It didn't have anything to do with SIBO.
Oh, it has something to do with SIBO, but that particular facilitation was coordinated and handled by your spirit guide.
And can you tell me what SIBO's part was?
The idea of allowing you to get in touch with that aspect of yourself that connects to his particular energy, to add it to the mix, so that in combination, all those energies, when they are holistically experienced, will give you that feeling of lightening up, of levitation. Do you understand?
Yes. Is there some reason it was scary in that case?
Because, as we have already said, anytime you get in touch with that pure energy that represents your highest vibration, the first and foremost thing it does is point out what doesn't belong in that energy. Remember, as the analogy we have given before, a long time ago in your technology, you had internal combustion engines that were very, very simple, what you call very, very crude mechanically. And in that sense, they could chug along and chug along and chug along, even if they were filthy. But now in your modern high-tech era, you have high-speed engines that are machined with high-tolerance precision. And thus then the smallest speck of dirt will freeze the entire operation until you clear it out. So too, the idea of refining your vibration. As you refine your vibration, the idea of what doesn't align with your true vibration will stand out in a much more magnified way, even if it is the smallest deviation from your truth, will now seem to be a huge deviation because it is so magnified by being compared to everything else that is operating so much more smoothly. So dealing with that, integrating it, and allowing that energy to be transformed back into part of the smooth operation is the point of being shown the things that are out of phase with your truly preferred vibration. Make sense?
Yes.
SIBO says, hi.
Hi, SIBO.
And, of course, Cybo being in our ancient language the number 4, 13, you can know that his symbol specifically is associated with that symbol of transformation, number 13.
Yes.
Which, by the way, is actually the 3rd triangular symbol.
Ooh, very good. The other contact I had this week, other times I've interacted with the kids. I've just seen forms or just knew they were there. But this week I actually saw a face.
Yes, all right. Well, again, as we have said, as you expand and increase your ability to see deeper into other realities, they will actually become more visible, more concrete to you. So this is an indication that your senses are beginning to penetrate beyond the veil of what was heretofore invisible to you, and you're starting to see more flickers of the parallel reality stream, and thus more capable of actually having your senses extend into those other realities sufficiently to allow them to appear more solid to your senses.
Can you tell me which child it was?
No, I cannot.
Okay. Maybe you can't tell me this either. I got a big download from either the 17-year-old or the 15-year-old of these really beautiful, several pieces of incredible artwork.
Oh, all right. And what will you do with that download?
Make my own. They won't be as beautiful, but can you tell me which of the two it was?
Why?
Because I'm writing a script, and
oh, I see.
I would like to know.
And you need detail.
Yes.
Well, why not ask them?
Okay.
Do the technique, open your conduit, and use it to facilitate stronger communication with whomever you wish to communicate.
Okay.
That's the point.
Right.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.